Hello, welcome to another edition of PaddyCast. And today have none other than Clivenville's all-time top goal scorer, Joe the Joe Gormley. How are you, Joe?
All good, Paddy. Cheers. I'm
It's
great.
good to have you on. I was excited to get a footballer on, and I thought that the first footballer should be the main man, Joe Gormley. So, welcome on it. So as I told you before, there's like four key things I want to talk about. Um, One of the first things is your sporting journey. So basically, how you got to where you were, and the people who's helped you along the way. How did you get into football?
So it was my daddy used to take teams from the new lodge. It was St Pat's, McLaughlin's, and I'd followed him obviously to get me out of the house during the week, and to give him a my headpiece. He brought me till the matches and stuff, and that's where I started going about learning how to actually play football. And then I went on till Ardon Youth Club as I got older and stuff, and that was probably where I started to really love the game and stuff. Which Ardon was the main team for me growing up. So it was. Uh, while I played for Ardon, Eddie McElay was the manager at the time. He introduced me proper till football matches, where I came out and with my mates every Saturday, Tuesday, Thursdays training, and I got to play games of a Saturday. It was from Ardon. I then moved on till Celtic boys over in West Belfast. But at the time, I was playing for Ardon. I loved playing for Ardon, but it was just the numbers of the team actually were getting smaller every week, and it sort of had to decide whether to keep the team or not. Then with the Eddie and Mark Toll decided not to keep the team, and he obviously asked teams in the league for were they looking at any players, and Celtic boys came in and asked to have me, Liam Sands, Christopher Beattie, Ken McClenny, I think it was. And I think me knowing it was Celtic boys, a big Celtic fan, I was like, yeah, I'll go and play for Celtic boys. It'll probably be the closest thing to get.
And obviously from Sally Boys, what age did you join Common Star?
Yeah, well, it was I played for Clivenville, so I did it under 18 level. I left Celtic boys to go to Crumlin Star or the Clivenville under 18s, and I didn't even. There was weeks where I didn't even get a kit, so I didn't for the
Yeah.
18 Clivenville, and that's where I decided, listen, I want to just start enjoying football. I moved on till Ardon Working Men's Club.
Also,
Stephen
it was Ardine working at the club after Common Star.
before
Oh, sorry. Yes.
yeah. So it was started off at the Ardon Working Men's Club. I played for the first and then the seconds. I was up and down, so I was, and then my brother actually had moved till Crumlin Star, and I was like me being just following him. I was like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go on and join him, and there is sort of like I got till like it was sort of where I started making a name for myself. It's where people were actually talking about me, which was mad because at that time I was like I was 19, 20 whenever I was playing for the Crumlin Star, and you sort of when you're ever looking to go across the water or else play Irish
Yeah.
League, my chances were sort of limited because of my age. But moved on to Crumlin Star. Eamon Hawkins was a manager, and there just scored a large amount of goals, and I sort of took off. So it did.
So, like, firstly, what was the hardest thing? Like, before we like, you scored 61 goals for Common Star, which was a massive achievement. And you were talked about it everywhere in football circles. And then you moved to Clivenville from then. Was that the way it worked?
Yeah. So when I scored the 61 goals, it was actually there was a lot of clubs monitoring me at the time. I met with Stevie Small of Carrick. I went down and trained with Jerry Flynn of Newry. Went down to train with Crusaders. But the always disappointed thing about Crusaders was that I went down with Marty Donnelly one night to train with him. And their manager was actually getting assessed, or their assistant manager was getting assessed by like the IFA, no, for his like pro license or something. So it says, listen, you can't train, because they obviously, I knew that at that time I probably wasn't up to speed with the players and stuff of the likes of Crusaders. And then I think Clinville got wind of it, that I was actually down training with Crusaders. Well, it was meant to anyway, and Clinville, within a day or two, get on the phone to Sean Brown. Sean Brown is, he used the money to Star also. Sean looked after me, so he did, while I was playing for the Star. He sort of brought me to meetings with the actual managers of the teams and stuff, because at Mary, as you know, my daddy had passed away, so I had no one really like really to bring me and stuff. So Sean Brown sort of stepped in football in ways, and he says, listen, we'll go and see what they have to say, and you've nothing to lose. And from there, I went and spoke with Tommy Breslin, and the rest was history. Do you know, it's...
So obviously you hold the record for coming starting goals. Do you think, do you not anymore?
Well, I think I do. I'm not sure.
Oh, you do? That's it.
Yeah, well, 61 was a lot of goals to beat, and I haven't heard of anybody beating it.
Well, because I was going to ask you, do you think anyone will match it? But we're on the fence and that. I'm just going to go with it that you're the man and no one will beat you.
I'll take that.
So I want to talk about your peak and your pit. So like the best moments of your career and maybe some of the not so great moments.
Yeah.
So do you think, actually, because you're one of Clinville top scorer as well, do you think anybody at Clinville will come close to matching your record?
I'm not sure at the minute, because to be fair, it's a lot of goals that probably be broke, because it's my 8th season I've played at Clinville, and I scored a large amount of goals in so many games. You know, I think it's like a goal every 1.5 games, which is a pretty decent record. But as you know, like, records are there to be broken, and maybe one day someone could beat it. I would like it to be someone from Ardoyne, maybe even someone from
somewhere more Ardoyne,
or a family member even. Yeah. So it would be good. But to hold that record, it's brilliant. And don't get me wrong, at the minute now, I don't feel like, I think whenever I leave Clinville, I sort of appreciate it more, you know, because now I just want to keep scoring as many goals as I can and break or push it even further out.
Well, when you say about leaving Clinville, you did leave for Peterborough.
Yeah.
Hard. Actually, before we actually even go on to Peterborough, I want to ask you a question about from Crumlin Star to Clinville. Like, what was the hardest thing? How do you adapt from amateur league football to the Irish League?
Yeah, no, like I always remember that the step up from the league was massive. Like, I don't think you'll realise until you actually do it. You know, I went and saved for Clinville after a season with a Star. I just scored all them goals, and then I wasn't playing regularly enough at the time. That the two strikers were Chris Cannell and Rory Donnelly, and the two of them were outstanding. But it took Chris. Chris got a bad injury, which sort of left him out. No, he couldn't play no more for the rest of the season, or so long it was. And then Rory had got the move in January, I think it was, till Swansea. So there, I got my breakthrough. Me and Liam Boyce me and Liam were actually the reserves. We played up front for the reserves. And then it was Chris got injured. Rory had went till Swansea. Boyce had signed again, and then the two of us were sort of in reserves, in and out. And then that was when we got our breakthrough, when the chance came, and with the two of us grabbed it with both hands, you know. And as you know yourself, we win 2 league titles, and it was a massive for the club itself.
When you won them two league titles, how did the manager have an influence? Because the way you played football was fantastic. The passing was unbelievable. The state of play he's had was unbelievable. So, like, how big an influence was Brazil on you?
Yeah, no, Tommy was phenomenal. So he was. I'll always respect Tommy. He gave me my chance in the Irish League, and but Tommy, like, there was weeks the press were sort of probably having wee digs at you and saying you weren't good enough when we were getting beat, and then Tommy was coming out and saying, "Listen, I take full responsibility." Tommy took everything upon him and let the players do the business on the pitch. So he sort of helped with that there. He was just his man management, and then the whole team. We just had the whole team. It was like a family. Everybody was just so close, and it was unreal.
So when you moved to Peterborough, I know you didn't play many games because obviously of your serious injury. What was it like, come from the Irish League, going to League One, and then as well going to the Scottish Premiership with St Johnstone? What was that like?
Yeah, no, it was just another massive step, and at my age at the time, I went when I was 25, and it was massive, like, because as I always thought, 25 is a bit too old, but if I get a chance, I'll go and take it. So the chance ended up coming about with Peterborough, that I got to move there, and it was unreal. It's what I've always dreamt about. I went and I've worked hard all my life for the be a pro footballer, and I got the chance, but it just wasn't meant to be. It was pre-season, was going brilliant. I was scoring goals. I actually scored against Spurs, so I did. It was the reserve team, but still hey. And then we went on the league. I sort of thought, this is all right. I'm sort of getting used to it. And then the league had started a few weeks later, and then I played my first game, and I was like to myself, "Whoa, this is mental. Like, this is so hard. It's unreal." Yeah. Just like, because at 25 years of age, there's 18-year-olds, 19-year-olds running about, built like they were like tanks, and I'm running about going, "Whoa!" Like, I have some catching up to do at that time, and they were massive athletes.
Did you feel at that kind of level that nutrition was a massive part in the game?
Yeah, no, definitely, because I was one thing about me growing up. I was never like playing for Climball. I didn't really. I would have ate, but I wouldn't have been eating well. I wouldn't have been looking after myself like as I probably should have been to go to play professional football. But just going over there, the standard, the athleticism, or whatever, how do you say it? But the boys were outrageous, and you were like, for someone to be 25, looking at an 18-year-old, 19-year-old, and going, I have a bit of catching up to do, and it's going to take a long time.
Who do you feel like helped you like develop into the player you are today? And also, who gave you the best advice on improving your overall game?
Yeah, no, growing up, obviously throughout the years, my daddy played a massive part, just giving me the confidence to go on and like play for the likes of Ardon Youth Club, and then as I was getting older, but at the minute now, even still to this day, Sean Brown is massive for me. Like, he's helped me so much throughout my career from Crumlin Stars, and like, he's put me in the right direction, and he's always someone I could go to whenever we're talking about football, and he helps an awful lot, so he does. And he's been massive in my career, even till like now. He's gone in and sorting out contracts for me and stuff, and I'll always respect Sean for that there, for helping me.
What's a good thing now, I think, if there are a lot of young players here who are getting the chance to go across the water and play football. Even the likes of a good friend of mine, young George Story. He's away, I can't remember what team he's playing for, but what advice would you give to young players going over across the water, coping, being able to play and train away from home at that young age?
Yeah, see, like I always say when people ask me this question, I always say, like, if you were looking the proper advice, I would speak to the likes of Liam Boyce, Gavin White, Mark
Yeah.
Six. Do you know all the boys who have had a proper go at it? I went over when I went to Peterborough, had the bad injury, and it sort of knocked me for six. And I had a bad impression of professional football, do you know. But all I can always say is work hard and just listen to what you're told, and people will always want to make you better. Do you know what I mean? And just listen to what people have to say to you. Like obviously your coaches and stuff. So just listen and be prepared of what you're in for.
Ultimately, obviously the injury played a big part in this. But what was the decision? Basically, you had made it. You got to across the water. So you made becoming a pro. It must have been a tough decision. Stepping back from that and back into the Irish League.
Yeah, no, it was as I say, it was sort of settling in Peterborough at the time. Whenever just before I get the injury, and as soon as I got that there, it just knocked me for six. You know, I've worked hard all my life to be a professional footballer. I get the chance, and then within an instant, it's took away from me. I know, I had the rehab. I'd done everything I could to get back get back. I did, and I did. I worked hard to get back where I was. But at the time, whenever I was coming back, Peterborough were looking to send me out in loan, and I was sort of only settling in Peterborough. And then they were looking me to go on loan till someone else. And then I was like, it's took me this long to settle in here. If I go somewhere else, it's just going to take me as long. And then I was sort of like, do you know what? Is there a chance to go to Scotland? Because I would always love to play in Scotland. I think it was just more so because I'm a big Celtic fan, and I just wanted to play against Celtic or just see Celtic, you know.
You just want to play for Celtic and score against Rangers.
That's a dream come true, that is. But going to St Johnstone was I love St Johnstone so much, so I did. I just wish I could have had a bit longer. Yeah. But at the time, the injury, I was coming back from the injury. St Johnstone gave me the chance. I'll never forget. I went and played the first game against Aberdeen. I started in the League Cup. It was quarter-final. I didn't play too well because I was out of the game for a year and a half, a year or so anyway, and I was in Scotland playing for St Johnstone. I got a chance right away, but I didn't play as good as I probably should have. But St Johnstone boys looked after me massively, you know. And but I always say, now I feel as if I got the chance to go and play over there, I could do it. You know, I think that I could have played in Scotland, no problem.
Do you think that chance will come around again?
No, I don't think so now. Definitely not now, because I'm 30 years old now, you know, and it's sort of, I probably only have a few years left myself. But if it did come around, I don't see why not. I would give it a go, but it's unlikely, but who knows?
What would you say would be the lowest moment in your career?
Is it the injury? The injury absolutely knocked me for six. It was probably one of the worst injuries you could get playing football.
Yeah.
I've never had an injury ever before I went away to Peterborough, and then all of a sudden I go there, and it's just, you probably get hit with the worst injury you could probably get.
So see when you got that injury, how were you able to deal with it mentally?
No, I struggled big time, so I did, massively. I was on the phone every hour night. I was ringing George McMullen, Skin, I was just ringing different people every night for reassurance, but they were all telling me the exact same, and it was so hard. So it was the worst. It's probably one of the worst moments in my career. You know, it's just, and being in Peterborough on my own was it was tough going. So it was.
I would imagine, young players from here, being selected to go across the water, it would be very, very daunting for them. Going to a new country, with a new players, on their own. It would probably affect their performance mentally and physically.
Yeah, no, without a doubt, because Well, for me, I'm a home bird. You know, it affected me massively. Like, there was times my friends were out of a Saturday night, they were going to Kelly's, and I'm on FaceTime with them. Do you know what I mean? Like Kelly's, and you're like, what am I at? Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just wee small things that you actually miss.
Yeah.
So it did, and it was just stuff like that. There, it was massive, man. Especially because I had a girlfriend as well back home. Do you know, and
Yeah.
it was just being away from her. It was tough going. Nice to come over every other week, but it was just like you just wanted someone to be there with you 24/7.
See what it says about like how it affected you mentally. Was there someone like anybody in particular who you would phone on and like help you with that mental stress?
Just as it says, like I would have rang
The
Skin.
Georgie and Skin, basically.
Oh yes, saucy. Just the people that keep me like. Obviously, when I'm ringing them, they're telling me all good stuff. Do you know what I mean? And I'm like, because I remember ringing them and asking them, like, if I come home, what do I like be all right, or what do I do, or I just knowing you're like just everything was going through your head, and it was a tough moment in my career at that time. It was just hard. Like.
Like, when you're younger, I think like everyone, we all like being from the Climble Bone or down. We all supported Celtic and Climble. We always want to favour Celtic. So, who would have been your dream team to play for?
Oh, it was without a doubt. It had to have been Celtic. I love Celtic so much. You know what I mean? And the play against them for Climble was massive. Like, that was probably one of the highest moments of my life. I got the chance to play against my boyhood club. But it was just, if I had one chance in my life to play for, it'd be Celtic without a doubt.
Yeah, I remember. I wasn't there for the home game, but I was at the Climble Celtic game in Glasgow.
Right.
It was brilliant. So it was just quick to see Climble being such a massive stage. And you're lucky to get the chance to showcase your skills in Celtic Park. So tell me this: what sticks for you? Obviously we're in the current situation now. We're on lockdown. Do you know how the season's going to plan out? What the Irish League's doing about the current season?
I'm not sure yet. I'm hoping that it plays on because Climble have been doing so well this year. You know, we're in the semi-final of the Irish Cup, which is massive for the club, and for this year virus to throw this all away, it would be a shame. But listen, yourself, your health's your wealth. And if it goes ahead, brilliant. If it doesn't, so be it. And we'll have to just plan for next year. But I can see it. I can see it happening. Like, it's just as long this year virus goes on. There's obviously talk of the Summer League and the Irish League. So this may be a good idea for it to start.
Yeah, definitely. Like if Linfield or Clontorm are way ahead, it'll be good just to cancel the league.
Oh well, that's different. Like, so it is, yeah.
So have you any sponsors? Like, you're in a team sport. Have you any personal sponsors?
No, I don't even.
No,
I don't even have none. No.
Can I get off back with them? Any sponsors are listening in? Any boot sponsors? Also, Joe out with a pair of Adidas Pattern 99s.
Yeah, great shout. I'll take boots any day of the week. Brilliant.
No, here. So over the Quickfire right now. So I'm going to back questions. First one is, if you could choose a different sport, which would it be?
Gaelic.
Gaelic?
Yeah.
For RI?
Yeah. Nah, I can't even play Gaelic, but it's probably the other sport I've actually played. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Your greatest rival. So you say who your team's greatest rival is, obviously.
Yeah, well, Crusaders are massive rivals for Climble, so they are. I always love playing against Crusaders, so to be fair. I think I've scored, checking some guy, Marshall Gillespie, does the stats on Twitter. I think I've scored the most goals against Crusaders, so I enjoy the Crusader matches.
Do you have any pre-match superstitions?
I don't even know. I've actually started to get my girlfriend to make me bacon sandwiches. So I don't know whether was started this now. I don't know. She seems to think it's that there, but well, I'll take that. So Red Bull as well. Red Bull before the game.
Very nutritious. Do you have a favorite quote?
No, I don't even. Well, no, there's always one my mom always says to me. I don't know if it's a quote or not. If it's meant to be, it's meant to be. You know, and that's all I always say after. So
sort of a quote.
Yeah.
Your favorite sports person, past or present?
Without a doubt, Henrik Larsson. He's the main man. I always look up to him. Like,
oh, he's a man.
As a striker.
He was a god.
Yeah.
Well, Joe, it was lovely having you on the PaddyCast, my first footballer, and I'm so delighted that it was you. Do you have a message for all the listeners in regard to the coronavirus? So get well soon and up the NSS.
Oh, yeah. Stay home and stay safe.
That's it. Well, Joe, listen, anyway, you stay at home and stay safe, and it was brilliant talking to you, mate.
Thanks very much, buddy. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Bye.